All right, what's up, everybody? This is episode 2 of the BitBoys podcast. We're recording this on, what's today, the 27th?
Yes,
So
sir.
it's 2 days after Christmas. And Christmas is that time of year where everybody gets really cringe on the internet about stuff that they post, and like they're very excited to show off the cool socks that they got and whatever. What are some of the things that you guys got for Christmas?
You want to go first, Ethan, or you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'll
Okay.
go first.
Okay.
So for Christmas, I kind of had like 3 small Christmases. I didn't do it all on one day because we
Oh,
kind of broke
cool.
it up.
Ethan's like that kid who had divorced parents in middle
Yeah,
school.
basically.
He go back and forth to his mom and dad's house. And
Yeah.
got, like 40 gifts.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So I went to my mom's side of the family one day, and then my dad's the other day. But I had some fun hanging out with my little cousins and that kind of thing. And then so Christmas presents. So that's what we're talking about. Let's see. I got some. I was telling Liam about this earlier. I got some Portland or not Portland, yeah, Trailblazers merch because my family or some of my aunt and uncles move up there. So I got some real Trailblazers merch. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, autographed
cool.
and signed by Brandon Roy.
Yeah, Damian Lillard drove to my house from there and showed up and handed it to me.
Okay, so not to cut you off, but I've actually met Damian Lillard in a sense. I wouldn't use the word met.
Y'all best friends, right?
Yeah. So I interned with
Yeah.
Stars, the Dallas Stars, when I was in college, and I had an opportunity to walk the Trailblazers down to the practice because the Mavs and the Stars play in the same arena in the American Airlines Center, and so they have like a practice basketball court underneath the arena, and we had to walk the Portland Trailblazers down because they showed up to practice and they didn't realize there was a game, a hockey game going on, and so we had to walk them down because they had a game the next day against the Mavs. So yeah, little tangent. Sorry.
So you were his personal escort. Just go with that.
Yeah. I didn't really get to talk to him too much. I just said, "Hey, Dame." That's all I said. And then
Did you do the cool
Did you dap him up?
Yeah, did you dap him up?
No, I didn't dap him up. I don't. I didn't even. I don't think I was even supposed to be talking to them because they just told us they're like walk them down because when you're interns you're like they like don't want you to mess with anything. Like we're not allowed to talk to the players really. We're not allowed to get autographs or anything like that. And so
did some dude in like a slate black suit come up to you guys and give you me like you're not allowed to speak to these guys. You're below them.
It's like they have like people in like suits and glasses like hiding around every corner, and they're like hiding out in the stands. They're pretending they're watching the hockey games, and they're like making sure we're not like causing trouble. They're like Men in Black.
30-foot radius.
They're like
if
the
you
Men
get
in
within a
Black.
30-foot radius of Damian Lillard, you will be shot on sight.
Dude, I just imagined the Men in Black thing. Like after Chandler tries to talk to Damian Lillard, like they pull him to the side and they like flash his memory so he doesn't remember any of it.
Yeah, they just never see you. Just never hear from me again. Like I'm just gone. Like they're like I'm walking around a corner where there's like no one there, and they just like open a door and yank me into the door, and like I'm just gone forever. They come back and I'm like a completely different person, new personality, new name, everything.
like a Bugs Bunny cartoon gets shoved into a hole.
No, but anyway, it was cool. I got to walk him down. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Ethan, but I got to walk him down, and so that's like probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my life, ever.
Yeah. So most of my Christmas presents were just random stuff that I didn't know, but most people bought things from Amazon this year. I don't think there was a lot of in-store purchases in general this year for Christmas, or at least
I got all my stuff from Amazon that I've given.
So yeah, apparently all the stuff is something that my parents had put out there. So like none of it was like stuff that I didn't ask for anything because I mean it's whatever, but all the stuff was like random little things my parents had put on there, and then people would come up to me like, "You didn't really put anything on your Amazon list." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that's what we were doing this year." So I just got a bunch of random like little stuff, but it's cool. I enjoyed it though.
That's cool though.
Yeah, but did you get a toolbox like me?
I didn't get a toolbox, but my dad did. So you're on the same level as my dad.
I am. I have been known to be very dad-like.
I was about to say, Liam, let's be honest. When are you ever going to use a toolbox?
I repair stuff. What are you talking about?
What do you repair?
I repair I repair air conditioners.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I repair my own I've repaired my own air conditioner every single day of my life. Okay, you cannot sit there and tell me that I
Why
don't
is
do
your
so.
air
It's my
conditioner so
life.
messed
Yeah,
up,
why is
dude?
it so bad? You
I'm
guys should
just
just get a
cheap,
new
okay?
air
I don't want to
conditioner.
buy a new air conditioner. It has an owl that lives inside there. It has babies and it feeds them.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I got
Anyway,
a toolbox.
let's move on to the more important subject, me.
Your
Um,
Christmas, your COVID Christmas.
yeah, so me and my wife actually, well, my wife has COVID. I haven't gotten tested. I also have no symptoms, but it doesn't really matter anyway. I can't go anywhere anyway,
Right.
And so um we had Christmas from home. My parents dropped off some of our presents, and then my grandparents they dropped off their presents, and so they all were at my parents' house, and they FaceTimed us on an iPad and hooked it up to the TV, and we FaceTimed them, and so like we were on like a FaceTime call, and we just like opened presents that way, and so it was okay. I mean, I wish I could have been there, but under the certain circumstances.
Yeah, I just love my family. I wish I could see my family. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't mean to brag, but
I don't.
I have a pretty cool family. But anyway.
I
You
have a
you
loving
you mean you didn't
family.
have
Yeah, I have
a divorced
I don't.
Christmas?
I don't
no,
have
no, I didn't
divorce.
have that,
I don't
but
have hypothetically divorced parents like Ethan.
but
Oh my goodness.
yeah, anyway, some of the gifts I got so literally the only thing I asked for my parents cuz so I'm not much of like a sneakerhead or anything like that, but I've always liked shoes and stuff I've always kind of like liked shoes, but I never had the money to buy them. And these Jordan 1 Mochas released earlier in the year, and they're like probably my favorite colorway of any shoe ever. And I tried to get them on release, wasn't
Yeah, I
lucky.
remember you sent them to me because you told me you wanted to get them. I remember
Yeah,
you sending them
yeah,
a picture to me.
yeah. So I wanted to get them on release, didn't get them, wasn't lucky, and so I told my mom, I was like, the only thing I want for Christmas is if you were to able to find these for a decent price. I don't want her paying like $600 for some mochas. But she luckily found some on StockX that were decent price. Shout out StockX, sponsor us. But anyway, she found some on StockX that were some decent price, and I got those, and that was probably my favorite gift. But other than that, I got a bunch of little stuff, kind of like Ethan. My wife got me this cool thing I can put my phone on. It's like a phone stand that charges it. It's like a like a charging pad, but it's like a phone stand also, and so I can have my phone sitting next to me while I'm playing video games or working or whatever, and it charges, and so that's pretty cool.
Ooh.
And
Kind of
yeah, that's
cringe,
pretty much it.
actually. Cringe.
Yeah.
You play video games. You're
Yeah, sorry,
gross.
I play video games.
All right,
I'm the
Liam.
I'm the scum of the earth.
I
I
want to
will say,
hear how your trip compares to Chandler's because
well, it probably doesn't. I will say this. My thing about shoes is that I'm not big into any kind of clothing at all. So like
You're
anything
nude.
that
You're
I
a
get that's just
nudist.
like, yeah, I'm
I
very
prefer
nude.
no clothing.
But the thing about me and shoes is that typically my thing with shoes is that I will get a pair of shoes for Christmas every year, and then that would be my pair of shoes
for
for
the
the
whole
year,
year. Yeah, I
for the
got
whole
you.
year.
Mhm.
But the thing is, I didn't get any shoes for Christmas this year,
What will you
Oh,
so
wear
I'm
this
gonna
year now?
I'll just have to keep wearing the stuff that I got last year.
he's just socks this year.
Yeah,
Barefoot.
just straight up socks. Yeah,
Yeah.
and my untrimmed toenails as well.
All right,
I'll
Liam,
just
tell
be
us about your
prancing around with
awful
those.
gifts that your parents hate you.
Well, I got some candy. I got some
Okay.
candy to feed the beast that is myself. Um, I also got I got a phone stand too, but it goes in like the cup holder of a car.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
I put in there. It doesn't charge or anything like that, so it's
so
not as
it
like
just
high
holds
tech.
it.
Yeah, it just holds it. It's not as high tech as Chandler.
Yeah.
It's also it's not very what's the word? It's not very efficient because I already have a phone stand that hangs on my windshield and I can have my eye level up and like looking
Yeah.
around while I look at it. Whereas in the cup holder, I have to like stare down and eventually kill myself when I'm like running
Right.
around. So
Well, maybe it's a good excuse for you to get a new car. You just crash yours and then
maybe it's a good
insurance is
excuse
good.
for me to finally kill myself and end it all. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean that works too.
I mean, that would be probably the best
Speak.
thing.
Yeah.
That'd be the best excuse that I would have. Well, I was looking down at my phone, but I'd already be dead, so I couldn't.
Yeah. Dude, I got for my car because pretty much everything I got was like little stuff and then stuff for my car because I bought a new car this year. Well, it's not new, but I bought a car, a new to me car.
It
So
was
all the stuff's
new.
for
It
my
was new
car.
70 years ago.
Yeah, it was new like 30 years ago. But
Something.
I got a because you mentioned the crash and die. I got a radio that has a touch screen on it,
That's
and
cool.
I think I swerved off the road once with it already. I'm like, wow, let's not do that. But that was pretty cool. It makes the interior look like a lot newer because the screen folds out and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes you look more high tech, and that you
Yeah.
actually it makes your car look like a Tesla.
Dude, also, yeah. I'm not gonna get too crazy into car stuff because I don't really care. But it does a bunch of cool stuff, and because I got a special computer in my car that can make it do cool things. But
Did you get
Can you do the thing?
did you get a new muffler?
I didn't, but I did get some stuff to make my car shoot flames, so it will do that.
Can you do
I'm
the
not
thing
kidding.
like
I
how
can
they
turn
do?
my car into a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, basically.
Can you do the
That's
thing like
sick.
how they do in Fast and Furious, where you have a bunch of hot girls around your car in bikinis?
Yeah, yeah. The puff of smoke comes out, and then they all just appear.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah. That's and it plays the little song too in Tokyo Drift. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, yeah. That just starts playing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Though. Did you get any nitrous like how they do in Fast and Furious, where you can
I
use like leopard
dude
fuel or
dude
whatever?
dude maybe next year. I think that's the next year thing.
Leopard
But
pee
it's
for
yeah leopard pea.
your car.
Yeah, but and then I got a convertible top motor because the top of my car stopped working. So I basically just got stuff to fix my broken 30-year-old car with.
That's
So
cool though.
but it's cool.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah,
I
hey,
think.
and another cool thing, I got Valhalla. I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh,
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So I've been playing that a little bit. I haven't played it too much because I've been kind of busy.
Is it
can't you?
actually like good?
Yeah.
It's so far. I mean, I've only played it for like 3 hours total. So
Did you
far
pick
it's.
the girl or the boy?
I picked the
Like, oh, come
guy,
on.
because I'm gay.
Oh, you gotta look at it, dude, the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it's cool so far. I like the fact that you can like customize their hair and stuff. Which hey, sick Ubisoft, you caught up
Which
to
is
the
in
last
every
like.
RPG video game
Yeah, I was about
ever.
to say, sick Ubisoft, you caught up to the last 20 years of video gaming. But yeah, it's cool. I made my guy like bald. He looks like a skinhead, which not it doesn't align with my beliefs in the slightest. But he looks cool. He looks like a guy that would rough you up in the back of an alley. He looks like
Yeah,
the cue ball guys from
skinheads. If
Pokemon.
you're listening, with please don't take offense to this at all.
Yeah.
If you're a real life
Please
skinhead,
don't do something. What do they? What would they
please
do?
like and comment for the algorithm.
Please don't tweet racist things at us.
Yeah, please don't cancel us on Twitter on
Yeah, I'm sure
on racist Twitter.
I'm sure the skinheads have enough pull on Twitter to cancel us.
Or I guess it'd be Facebook groups, right? I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, it'd definitely be Facebook.
Yeah, you're right. I guess like truck Facebook groups.
Truck
Yeah.
Facebook.
But the problem is you wouldn't be in their group, so they would just be trying to cancel you with something you're not even in. So that'd be great.
Have you
That's
guys
right.
ever seen those like videos of guys that'll like find their way? They like sneak their way into truck Facebook groups and they like post stuff that's like doesn't make any
No.
sense. Like come. I want to kiss you in that F-150 right now. And
Yeah.
all the guys are like, wait, what? And he's like, put your lips on me, big boy, and stuff. It's hilarious.
There's some dude on TikTok that does something like similar to that, but he does it with like much more broader terms. Like he'll pose as like the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health or something like that, and just like clown people or something like that. Yeah.
I wish
Some of that's
I
really
wish I
funny.
was funny enough to do stuff like that, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I wish I was smart enough to think of stuff like that.
Yeah.
I might be funny enough to carry it out, but I'm not smart enough.
I saw a thing on TikTok where someone it was on a Grey's Anatomy Facebook group, and this dude took a bunch of scenes from the show and he edited them out of order, and he put it onto the Facebook just their group, and they were all like, "Oh, this must have been an alternative ending," and they were having like full-on debates about some random clip that this guy had edited together. That's not how the show actually happened, and they're like, "No, this is actually an alternate timeline of where this person died, and that they didn't get to go and it be in the entire show and stuff." And it was hilarious. I thought it was great.
Nice. Grey's Anatomy. I know people who watch that, and I don't think that they're like weird people, but Grey's Anatomy has like a very weird cult following.
My
I
wife
think
she's probably watching
mostly
it
like
right now out in the living room.
you're watching it now.
No, my wife is probably watching it
Your
right
wife
now
is.
in the living room. She's probably watched it. I wouldn't say she's like a weird cult follower of it. Like she's not like obsessed with Grey's Anatomy or anything like that. But she'll like watch it while she's working sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's normal.
And she's probably watched the same show she's looking at me right now. She's probably watched Grey's Anatomy like I don't like how many times through, probably like 4. She's watched it like 10 times through, she just said. I'm just kidding. She said
That's the
1,
thing
but
too.
whatever.
There are a lot of people that I know that watch that show have watched it, like you said, like 9 or 10, sometimes even like 15 times through. I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
like,
that's weird.
there's no like I've watched The Office 3 times, but like I feel like that's that's like a lot. I feel like most
Dude,
people
What
watch
are
it
all
like
the
twice or
names of
something.
the guys? Like McSteamy, McCum,
Mick.
McBallsack,
no,
or
that's one
whatever.
person. That's one person.
McCum.
Yeah,
He's
no,
my
McSteamy
favorite.
cum. It's one
Oh,
person.
McSteamy Cum.
Yeah, it's one person.
McScrotal.
Yeah.
Fissure.
I don't know anything about Grey's Anatomy at all. I've absolutely no clue.
I don't know, but you mentioned The Office, and I know my aunt and uncle, and I just saw them for Christmas. Kind of what reminded me. They I don't know what they do or why they do this. They watch The Office on repeat because my uncle really likes it. So as soon as they finish it, they start it over, and that's like all that they watch, like every
I can't
night.
do
And
that.
they go through the show. I don't know how many times they've watched the show through, but it's probably no exaggeration, like 10 times. Like that's all that they watch, and it's like as soon as they finish it, they start from episode 1 and they go through the whole show again.
That's too much. I've watched a lot of shows, including like real TV shows like The Office and also like anime and stuff. I've never watched a show more than like twice, other than The Office, which I've
Yeah.
watched I think 3 times. And I even that third time, I don't think I watched it all the way through. I think I watched like the first 3 seasons.
The only
and
show
stopped.
I've watched more than once, and I'm borderline ashamed to say it now because of how awful it ended up, but I watched the first like 4 or 5 seasons of Game of Thrones like 3 times probably.
Oh my goodness, Jeffler.
I watched the first time through, and when I first started watching it, it was still like it was like kind of popular, but it wasn't as popular as it got to be towards the later
It was
stages.
edgy then.
Yeah, it was kind of
I feel
edgy,
like.
you know. Like I started watching it in like the second season. Like I watched the first season to catch up, and then the second season when it aired, I was watching it as the shows came out. And so I'd been watching it for a while, and it got like really really popular. And when my wife and I started dating in college, she had never seen it, and so I watched it a second time through with her. Um, well, so I guess that would be the third time. I watched it a second time through before the 4th season came out because I watched the first 3 seasons back through. So, like, I guess I've watched that more than once, but I've only seen like maybe a handful of episodes more than once. And the last season is like, I you'd have to pay me to watch that again. So, and it's not as cringy in like the first 5-ish seasons for 4-ish seasons, but then as it gets towards the end, it's just it I don't know what it got like. I don't know. It just wasn't as
There's
good.
too much brother sister love for you.
Well, it just wasn't as good. The storyline kind of was rushed. They had a lot of plot points that they wanted to hit, and they didn't have enough time to hit them. And then also the writers like left, and then also the George R. R. Martin, they had caught up to the books, and so they were like waiting for him to release the book to release the show, and so they kind of had to just like make up what they thought was going to happen, and it wasn't super like canon to the book, although it was like
It sounds like
it was just was not good towards the end.
yeah, it sounds like Liam's parents like for Christmas. Like that just sounds like how Liam's Christmas went.
I've one question about Game of Thrones. I have one question, Chandler. Can you answer me this one question?
Yeah.
Did they finish the game
Uh,
of
no, I
Thrones?
think it's still being played, Liam. It's
Oh,
the game was the adventure that we went along.
the,
It was
the
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 friendships
game
we
was
made
the
along the
journey.
way. It was the
The game
friendships we
was the
made
journey,
along
and
the
the
way.
throne, aka the ultimate goal, was the destination.
Yeah, yeah. But I'll say this, I highly recommend watching like the first 3 seasons of that show. It's like it's some of the best. It's like one of the best television shows. The first 3 seasons wise is one of the best television shows I've ever watched. But as it gets on, it gets worse. So
I heard that they made Peter Dinklage. I heard that they CGI stretched him to make him 3 inches taller than in real life.
probably. But also keep in mind the first 3 seasons is like porn for a large portion of it. But
Yeah,
it's like porn with a good plot.
oh my
So
goodness. I'm definitely not. No, I'm definitely not going to watch Game of Thrones. I
yeah,
have
no.
no interest in it whatsoever.
Well, it's not even worth watching now because you know how the ending turns out and it's garbage and so like whatever.
I don't know how the ending turns out.
Well, I
Does
know, but
I
like
heard
I
the
know
only
how the
thing I
ending turns
know
out and it's not worth watching it because you're going to get invested in it and then you're going to be very disappointed.
the only thing I know about Game of Thrones is that Jon Snow eventually dies, and that was like a big thing that like people were very sad about. And I was like, I don't like okay.
Mhm.
Like his name is. I knew a guy in high school named Jon Snow, and he's not dead, so I'm not sad.
That's
Actually, his name was Johnson Snow, but I think they called
Oh,
him
wow. Do you think he was named after the George R. R. Martin character?
probably. I
Johnson
mean,
Snow?
I think he's even bigger than I am, so I don't think he looked anything like Jon
Like
Snow.
fatter or like taller?
He's taller and rounder. He also told me one time I saw him playing Minecraft without a mouse, and I was like, you know that game's easier with a mouse. And he's like, you know, everybody says that, but I don't think it is. He's
wait,
gonna
wait.
play
What?
he's
What
gonna
a
play on his
weird hill to
trackpad.
die on. Yeah, I don't think it is. I'd rather play it with the touchpad.
Yeah, he literally. I said, you know, that's like it's way easier to play with a Mac. Like it's so much easier to like place blocks and like break them and stuff. He's like, no, I'd rather use the trackpad and the little clicker.
Oh,
So
Like
that's
the little
which,
horrible.
thing
by
that
the
was in
way,
the
is like
middle of the keyboard, you know, on the
yeah,
school computers.
exactly. And he had to perambulate about as well. So he had to use WASD. He had to use
All
the
right.
little clickers at the bottom and the
No need
trackpad.
for SAT words there, buddy.
Okay, whatever.
Parabolate.
WASD, north, south, east, and west. But he, oh shoot, what was I going to say? He, but by the way, playing on like a trackpad and keyboard is like way even more dissatisfying than playing on like a controller on Xbox.
Yeah.
Like it's so bad.
Yeah, that
It's
sounds
absolutely
awful. I've never
horrendous.
played it on a trackpad, so I have no experience there.
I kind of want to try it now just to see how bad it is,
We
but
should
it
do a
sounds awful.
hardcore playthrough only using a
Minecraft just with the
trackpad. You know how like they do
Yep,
like the
upload
the
this stupid
Pokemon
channel.
Nuzlocke challenge playthroughs, like different like little stipulations that you have to meet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
but this time we just do hardcore Minecraft only on a trackpad.
There you go.
nice.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
so
Minecraft
horrible.
Nuzlocke.
Yeah,
The
the
Minecraft
Minecraft
Yeah.
Nuzlocke
Nuzlocke.
is you play on the trackpad, you play in hardcore, you can't ever eat.
You only get one block per biome. I think
You
that's
get
how
one
it works.
block per biome.
Yeah.
You get half a sapling, and you have to make do.
Yeah.
They should make a mod to Minecraft where you're just like an adopted kid in the village. You're just like someone's adopted son in like living in a Minecraft village.
Yeah,
You
that'd be sick.
you're just the villager baby.
Yeah,
And
Can't
then
do
what
anything.
happens? What happens in that village is that the dragon comes, and then he says, "You are the dragonborn," and then you have to flee from the guys who want to kill you and cleave your head off. And then you go through this cave, and you end up fighting a bear that you shoot with 2 arrows and dies immediately in the head because
Hmm.
you
that sounds
headshot it.
familiar.
And then you go to a Whiterun, and then your story begins.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds familiar. I think I played a game like that before,
Yeah,
like
I think it's called
Ocarina of Time or
Minecraft.
something.
I think it's called Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Super Mario Brothers Weed.
It's yeah.
Uh,
No, that's
speaking
Super
of
Mario Brothers 2, Liam. That's where they changed it.
Super Mario Brothers 2, that's probably the best game of all time. Anyway, speaking of Super Mario, we do have a sponsor for this week, guys. We have a sponsor.
No, we don't.
We do. GameStop is going to sponsor us.
Liam, I don't want GameStop
Okay,
to
so
sponsor this.
okay. Let me read the sponsor. Okay, just let me read the sponsor. Okay, can I at least read the sponsor this week?
Yeah, you're taking up a little bit of time.
Okay,
But
all
we can
right.
let it
So
slide.
this week we are sponsored by GameStop. GameStop, please don't let us go out of business. That's what they told me to read.
Is that all it says?
Please, I'm begging
Yeah,
you.
that's and I asked them. Yeah, sure. I'll read your little promotion, but what will you pay me? And they said we can only give you $3. That's all we can spare. So now we have $3 to our name.
It's like when you're trying to turn in like a, I don't know, like your crusty old Wii controller that you've like picked boogers on. And you're like, yeah, we'll give you 16 cents for this thing. Like when you're like
That's
9
the
years
best.
old.
GameStop will like take anything now. They'll take like broken discs.
Dude,
Speaking of GameStop, I bought, ironically, also a Wii controller. I bought a Wii controller from them back when I was in like middle school because we needed another Wii controller to play Wii bowling. We only had 3 of them. We needed 4, and so I bought one from them, and I kid you not, it had this like viscous gelatin substance all over it, and it was either like, not to be crude or crass here, mother, close your ears. It was probably like pre-cum or something all over this disgusting Wii controller, and I would have returned it, but they don't let you return it. And so we just had this nasty Wii controller that no one wanted to use. It had like someone's bodily fluid on it.
There are a ton of horrible GameStop stories. Like my friend Josh has a couple. Josh, if you're listening, you're welcome to come on anytime and tell us about your experience with GameStop. But GameStop is an absolutely horrible company. I think it's amazing to me how they're still in business.
I love that
But they're shutting down all over.
we pretended to be sponsored by GameStop, immediately followed by just bashing GameStop, talking about how it's the worst company ever.
I'm definitely not pretending. They literally said they reached out to me on my Twitter at Kylie Jenner, and they said hey, will you please sponsor us on your next fight? We don't care what you say about us. We need some publicity. They said any press is good press, so I said okay.
As we just bash them, yeah.
Yeah.
So I can honestly say I haven't stepped foot in a GameStop in half a decade, probably. Like I don't think there's any need for it, because one, you can buy games on the Xbox or the PlayStation or online on Steam,
like digitally, yeah.
Yeah. And so there's no point in buying an actual hard, like a disc. And then also, what am I going to trade in? Why would I trade something in to get 16 cents back for it?
It's true. It's true. There's so many people that I know who went to GameStop, like they wanted to sell like 30 of their original Xbox games, whatever, and then they got back $4 for their entire.
It's always like you could have $4 cash back, or you could have $6 of in-store credit. So
yeah, $6. Let me go buy. I don't know, Zoo Tycoon or something.
Yeah.
Like what am I gonna buy with $6 at a GameStop? Let me go get a Funko Pop. Like what the heck?
Let me get a Roller Coaster Tycoon for your Game Boy Advance,
let me go buy this Zelda keychain you guys have. Like, what am I gonna buy with $6 at a GameStop? I guess I could buy like an old Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 game or something.
No, maybe. It's not been that long for me. I pre-ordered Pokemon Shield from GameStop.
Yeah, I bought my Switch when I got Sword and Shield. That's the last time I like.
So I was in there in whenever Shield came out. Was that last year in February?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, it was last year.
Last year.
Oh, so it's been. Wow, it's been a year. It's been almost 2 years for me actually. So it has been a lot longer than I thought. But that was the last time that I've been to GameStop.
I always buy stuff. Sorry, I'm tangent. I always buy stuff, like if I'm buying video game stuff. I always try and buy it from like Walmart or like Target or something like that, because I find that those places always have stock. Like, because your first instinct, you're like, oh, I want something video game related. Let me go to GameStop. But they always have stuff sold out. Also, it feels like they never get stock. Like I bought this
Yeah.
my Series X from Target. And ironically, there was 2 of them still in stock when I went to go pick it up. But Ian, our other friend, had to wait out for 16 hours in the freezing rain while there's people getting high next to him, just to sniff at a chance to get a Series X, where I think he was the very last person to get it. Or
He
something like that.
was. He invited me, and I was gonna do it with him, but I ended up having plans, and I'm glad I didn't go because I would have been behind him, and I wouldn't have gotten one. So
Yeah. Well, he told me he made it sound very funny because the people that were behind him was like a mom and like a little kid, and he was like
no.
he was like thinking, he's like, should I give it to them? And he's like, nah, and he's like, better like next time, buddy.
Oh my goodness. Ian literally just scalped the Xbox off of a little child.
Well, also, whenever I got mine, there was like a little kid and his mom walking in the game section, and I had already like, because I used the like app to see if they had it in stock, and so I drove like an hour and a half to go get mine.
Yeah.
And I got there, and when I was sitting there, and there's like this little kid sitting in the game section walking over there, and I like stood in front of the case so that he couldn't see it in like back behind while I was waiting for the guy to go get the key for me to open it up. And I felt so bad, but it's like, all right, buddy, next time you drive an hour and a half to go get an Xbox, you can be the one to have it.
in a truck, by the way, which uses more gas than like a regular car.
Yeah, a truck. And I posted that immediately. I posted right after I got it. I posted on my truck Facebook group. And I was like, I wouldn't have got this Xbox if it weren't for my F-150.
My F-150 is going to haul this Xbox back.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to haul this back an hour and a half if it weren't for that 12.
You couldn't hold this in a Prius.
That 12 V horsepower. V12, whatever. I'm not a car boy like Ethan.
V12.
I think it's funny. Just say that. It's not what it is, but go for it. It sounds better that way.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense if I'm posting in a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Just try and be as
just
like
pretend
wrong.
like you know.
Yeah.
I got a Series S that I'm gonna on Thursday.
Yeah. Congratulations. How
so when
hard was it to find that?
It wasn't. I literally just went on to Best Buy is like the place that I think is probably like the best electronic store that has probably ever existed at any point in time. So I went to Best Buy or their website, and they said that they would have stock on the 31st in Copperfield. So I was like, okay, and so I went to go purchase it, and I was like, fully expecting like, okay, there's no way I'm gonna actually be able to purchase this. But then the purchase went through, and I was like, what? So I got it. And I'll pick it up on Thursday. So before the end of the year, I will have the next generation of gaming.
Are you ready to play 2K with you?
Yeah,
me,
I will probably play by the time we record the next podcast. I will probably play 2K for about 45 hours.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. We're about to play 2K with you, me, and Ian. And for everyone listening at home, Ian is by far the worst 2K player that I think I've ever played with in my life.
Also, by the way, Ian's not going to listen to this. I asked him the other day what do you think about our first episode? And he's like, I'm not a podcaster. I do not listen to podcasts. I was like, well, we're your friends. And he's like, if Joe Rogan was my friend, I still wouldn't listen to his podcast.
Joe Rogan.
So he literally is not going to. So I don't. If we talk about like Naruto or whatever, I'm not even going to give him a timestamp. I don't care. If he decides to listen, he can just rot. That's all I care.
I guarantee Ian's.
So he won't hear it. Anyway, that was a rabbit hole. That was a tangent. Go ahead, Chandler. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say that I think he started playing basketball like 2 years ago, maybe. Like he
didn't really get into it until he kind of started. We used to play basketball like every like Sunday or whatever, and then he recently got into it like this year because I think he kind of. I think it was like maybe a little bit of ego, just like getting crushed at basketball made him want to get better or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
But he started like really trying this year.
Yeah, but
But did he get into basketball because we got him into 2K, or
no,
did he
I
just
think
start
it was the
playing
other way
because of you
around. I
guys?
think he got
It
into
was the other way
basketball
around.
and then he
Yeah.
wanted to play 2K with us. Because I remember I didn't have my like I hadn't at this point in time when he texted me, I hadn't played video games in probably like 2 or 3 months, just because I had recently graduated college and I was looking for a job. And he texted me and he was like, "Play 2K with us," and I was like, "What? You play 2K?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I made a point guard," and I was like, "Oh, this should be awful." So I got on, and sure enough, my wildest dreams came to life. Ian was
Yeah.
terrible and not good, and he has
Ian,
no
I
idea what he's
think
doing.
Ian is probably historically bad
Yeah.
at 2K.
Well, the sad thing is he's how many hours do you think he's played 2K? Upwards of 200 or 300
Ooh,
hours.
Well, it's probably hundreds actually.
Hundreds of
probably
hours of 2K, and
hundreds
he
of hours, I'd say. Yeah.
still averages like 1 point a game in park games.
My favorite thing is when he has a good My Career game, he sends us his like box score
Oh
into
my
the group
goodness,
chat. I
yes.
love that so much,
He
dude. I always
the,
like laugh at it every single time.
my,
And
my my favorite thing is when he sends us his like impressive statistic of like 30 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. It's like because he's comparing that to like real life players who like do that and then their praise where it's like no, like in 2K if you get 80 points, 15 rebounds and 20 assists, then that's like a normal day.
yeah, that's like a
Yeah.
normal game. But the thing is also to add on to not to just pile on to how garbage Ian is at 2K, but he when we played last year 2K20, we played I don't know how many park games or how many pro am games we played, probably 300, something like that.
Oh yeah, so yeah,
Played
something like that.
300 pro am games, and over those 300 pro am games, I think he shot like 16% or something like that from 3, and and shot like 28% from the floor and had more turnovers than assists. And I mean, it was when I say he is awful, he's dead weight. Like it's like you're playing
Yeah.
it's if you're playing a 3v3 game, it's like you're playing 2v4. It's
So
awful.
I just looked, and just in 2K21 on current or not current gen anymore, I guess last gen, he had like 120 hours, I think, of just that game.
Yeah, check 20
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was just about to check it.
because he put way more time into 20 because we all played 20 for like a full year, but
Uh-huh.
we played 21 for
Yeah,
like a
he
couple
put
months.
in another. Let's see.
Actually, we didn't even play 2K21 for a couple. We played 2K21
Yeah, he has
current gen for like a
I
month
would
and a half.
say close to 200 hours into 2K.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's put 300 hours into 2K and
And
it's not improved.
he still shoots like 60% contested shots all the time. Like, dude, it's
I
bad.
My favorite thing about the way that he plays is that I think most of the time, like when we're creating shots, we Ian is like typically open, right?
Hmm.
And so we'll get him an open shot, but what he does is he waits until someone comes to guard
Yeah.
him and then he shoots.
Yeah, he'll catch it and then wait 3 or 4 seconds and then wait for it to
He's
be
like, gotta get my
contested.
feet set.
He'll wait for it to be contested and then shoot it. It's like, bro, what? Just shoot it when you catch it. He's like, sorry, I had to wait for my feet to get set. Like, what?
After him standing in the corner the whole
He's like, I was still
possession.
moving. I was still moving.
And he's like, I shot it as soon as I could.
It's like, what do you have Hall of Fame catch and shoot for if you're not going to use it? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, why do you have that particular badge if you're not even going to utilize it? Goodness gracious!
I think a fun
But
topic we can talk about. I don't know if you guys have any knowledge on this at all, but Jake Paul wanting to fight Conor McGregor or whoever the heck he wanted to fight.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
that would
yes,
be
yes.
sick. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I think I think unlike Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, I think Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul will be a like landslide victory for McGregor.
I don't think that one's happening. If I'm being honest, I don't think
I
I don't think the
either.
Jake Paul one will ever happen.
I don't either. I think that's a lot of postulating. I think because Logan Paul in the big like was first like, okay, I'm gonna fight Floyd Mayweather and I'm gonna issue a challenge to him and we're gonna get this thing done. Jake Paul was like he had his feet put to the proverbial fire, and then he was like, well, I got to think of something cool to do too. So he was like Conor McGregor. That's like a hot name, so I'll just fight him. But like I think what Jake Paul doesn't realize is that Conor McGregor is actually like a very ruthless person. He's not just like a really good fighter. He has like a ruthless mentality, and he wants to kill
Yeah.
people.
Well, did you guys see that Jake Paul like unfollowed everyone on Twitter except for Conor McGregor's wife? It was like the only person he was following.
Oh,
Yes, I
cringe.
saw that.
Yeah, it's like,
That's
bro,
so
I get it.
cringe.
Like, if you want to fight, like his publicity or whatever, but you better not give him a reason to like want to beat the like ever living crap out of you,
Yeah,
So
because
did y'all see?
because he
Oh,
will.
go for it. Okay, so did y'all see that Dana White? He issued. I think I don't know if this was real or not, but apparently he issued a fight or like requested Jake Paul to fight one of the I don't know what class or like what weight, but one of the girls in the class, and he rejected the fight, and
oh my
everybody wanted
goodness,
to see that instead. And I
I
think
would want to
that
see that.
would be amazing. That would be
I,
so good.
I'm telling you, the women who do MMA are also like extremely athletic, and they
Oh,
would
for
take down Jake
sure.
Paul in a second. They
Oh,
absolutely would.
yeah.
I just like I don't understand the. I don't. I guess you do make a lot of money from like doing prize fights or whatever.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But like, why would you want to let yourself get beat up for money? Like, I just don't understand that. Or unless he
especially
legitimately
like
thinks he
Jake and
can
Logan Paul,
win.
who were already rich to begin with. Like they
I
don't
think
need this.
it's
What do they need
I
this
think it's
for?
like a frat boy mentality of like, oh, I'm the
No,
biggest, baddest person, so let me fight everybody. I don't, and it
no.
also makes them a lot of money. So I think it's that.
I think it's just a gross underestimation of someone that you're trying to entice into fighting. You know,
Hmm.
like I think I would be more comfortable fighting against Floyd Mayweather than I would be Conor McGregor. It depends on the rule set, but I think Logan Paul fighting Floyd Mayweather is much more of a toss up fight than Jake Paul fighting Conor because Floyd Mayweather is like 50 years old or something like that, whereas Conor McGregor is like 35 and still has like a lot of athleticism.
Yeah, but
Um,
still, like Floyd Mayweather's been boxing his whole life and has professional
yeah,
training, and at one point in time was the like best boxer in the world or something like that. I don't know. That might be an
yeah, he's one of the
exaggeration. I don't
best
know.
ever
One of
to
the
do it.
best boxers in the world at a point in time. So like I get it, but still, like that'd be like me saying like, oh yeah, let me play Michael Jordan in a one-on-one basketball game.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
no, that's not gonna ever happen. Like he
Yeah,
may be
he may be
60
60,
years
but he'll still
old.
destroy you.
Yeah, you may
Yeah,
have be 60 years old and have like liver failure or whatever the heck. But he's still gonna beat me, bro. Like he has professional training. He's been at the top of the sport for a certain point of time. Like I just don't. I don't like. It's just a bad idea. But the Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather one's happening on February 20th. So tune
Oh,
in, everyone, if you want to see
yeah.
all that.
I'm definitely going to be. Well, I won't watch it live, but every time a fight like that happens, someone always uploads it to YouTube right after, and it never gets
right.
taken down.
Uh
So
huh.
I'll watch that. That's how
Well,
I
except
watched the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight, and that was a really good fight too.
Yeah, it's a 25.99 is what the pricing is or whatever on this
Yeah,
what I googled it, but
I
ooh,
think I think the only way that Logan Paul can win that is if he can get a really heavy hit in early because Logan Paul has power on his side. And by the way, the weight classes between these two individuals are not comparable at all. Like
oh,
Floyd
oh
Mayweather
yeah, I
is
guess
like
it's a good point.
he's a leaf and a twig compared
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Logan Paul, who's like 60 pounds heavier than him, or probably closer to like 70 pounds heavier than him.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so I just think if Logan Paul can find like a little opening because Floyd hasn't fought in a long time. So if Logan can find like a hole really early and just give him really one good shot to the side of the head, I think it would go a lot better for him. But the thing about Logan is that he's such a hulking figure that his muscles would take more oxygen in order to continue on into a fight that goes like 8 or 10 rounds.
Hmm.
So he'll lose stamina like a lot faster than Floyd Mayweather will, who doesn't need all that oxygen and blood flow in order to sustain stamina. So Floyd Mayweather has stamina on his side, but Logan Paul has power on his side, and Floyd has experience
Can we talk
that
about how the
Logan
Paul
Paul just doesn't
brothers
have.
look like the kind of kids that the English teacher would have a crush on? That your
Oh my
English teacher in high
goodness,
school would have a crush on? Like the
maybe
the bad kids that
what?
show up like 30 minutes late. to class and then like don't have any. They like don't even bring a backpack.
Jake Paul looks like wet toilet paper to me. Like he looks like
What?
he looks horrible. He looks like a
Wet
horrible person.
one-ply toilet paper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
watch out
he just looks
before
like a wet, soggy newspaper to me.
watch out before our podcast gets big, which it's never going to. Watch out before our podcast gets big and Jake Paul tweets at you on Twitter about
Yeah, Liam, you're
how he
gonna have
wants
to
to
fight
fight
him.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just absorb and rebound his punches. You know,
You're just gonna be like Boo
absorb
from
them in my
Dragon
body.
Ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go Super Saiyan 3. I'll just power up for 5 minutes in the ring and waste 2 rounds.
They just
You
look
make more
like
money that way, dude.
they just
I
look
guess
like
so.
kids that would. They look like the type of kids that would like fight in the locker room.
Or go fight in the bathroom or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like for fun.
where there's no cameras.
Yeah.
Also, their like pre-game, like or like whatever they do, like to hype the crowd up and like the media and stuff for just like their fights are always so bad. Like what they say, I just kept thinking about like when the KSI fight happened with Logan Paul, and then Jake Paul fought KSI's little brother, and he was yelling Walmart
Whatever
at
his
him.
name. I can never remember KSI's little brother's name.
Oh,
Yeah.
Deji.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, Deji. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They,
that whole thing was terrible.
well, also
it's
it's like
horrible.
it's like the worst.
It's like the suburban white kids trying to talk trash to each other when they've never had to do that in their life, and they're having to come up with like stupid your mom jokes.
Like
You know what I
act
mean?
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's like the that whole group of guys like KSI, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Deji, and all them, and like Rice Gum and all those guys. Like those are like the worst part of
Forget
YouTube in my opinion. Like it's like they make just like garbage content, and they know like people are gonna watch it. Like it's so
Yeah.
bad.
As opposed to like we talked about last week, people like Video Game Donkey who aren't like very well off, but they make like like I guess you could say relatively very good quality content, because not everybody's going to like what they post, so obviously, but the people that do subscribe and do like to them will look at what they're posting, and they'll appreciate the time and the effort that went into the scripting and the sometimes the animation and all the fact gathering that they do, all the research that goes into it. Whereas Rice Gum or Logan Paul or whatever will post a vlog where they jump off a freaking building and they'll make tens of millions of dollars off that one video and almost kill themselves. So it's just really stupid. Or Logan
I
Paul
think
will film a dead body in a forest and he'll make a lot of money. And then he'll half-heartedly apologize, but it
and
doesn't
then make
matter
even more
because
money
his
off
numbers
that.
skyrocketed anyway.
Yeah.
Let's pivot a little bit. You guys want to talk about the opening day of NBA basketball and how garbage it's been? How like other than the
Christmas
Rockets
Day,
last
I was
night.
talking to Ethan about this earlier
Yeah.
too. Christmas Day is awful. Christmas Day is absolutely every team that won on Christmas Day won by like 20 something points or like around there,
Yeah,
and it
so
was just not fun to watch.
that's kind of what I was alluding to. It's like every single game was a blowout, except for the Rockets and the Trailblazers, which I didn't get to watch last night because it's blocked out in my area.
Nice.
Did they go to
Ironically,
double overtime?
yeah,
Right.
I know at least went to one overtime. But that was like the best game, and that was the one game I couldn't watch. So super cool. Also, I'm a Rockets fan, but for some reason it was blocked out in my area.
The thing about yesterday, or the thing about Christmas, the Christmas games, is that they were all really bad, and the Christmas games are all supposed to be really good. Like they're supposed to be tailored matchups that are like, okay, well these guys are really going to show out or whatever, and their teams are going to play well because it's Christmas. But none of them did, except for ones that won the games by a wide margin. But then the day following after that, like Charlotte and Oklahoma City was such a good game for two teams who are not they're not like in any sort of playoff contention. They're not like really competing for anything of a lot of value. They're just really trying to get their young guys some experience, and that was an excellent game. Like in the final minute, Charlotte scored I think like 11 points off of just like threes and I think a dunk or a free throw or something like that. just from Devontae Graham and Miles Bridges, and that's how they won their. Oh my goodness, Chandler! I'll have to put that in the thing if I get to. I'll give you guys what Chandler put in the Discord chat.
Wait. I have a better one. Sorry, continue what you were saying.
But like I was saying, that was a really good game that went down. Oh my goodness!
Make
You
that.
tell me I have to
Make,
fight
can you
that
please
guy?
make that the thumbnail?
Yeah, I'll make it the thumbnail. Yeah, I'll make it the thumbnail. I have to fight that guy on the left. Why do I have to fight that guy?
Yeah.
Cringe.
Good luck fighting that guy.
But anyway, like I was like we were talking about, there were yesterday the games that were not televised at all were extremely good and very fun to watch and entertaining. Especially because there's a lot of young players that were playing that are really exciting and are very high energy and make a lot of fun plays. So
have any of your opinions about the rookies changed over this week?
My
from the
opinion,
preseason into the NBA season.
Well, I don't know if it's I don't know if my opinion has changed, but I think Anthony Edwards had a decent game.
yeah,
The other
didn't
night.
he have like 18, 5 and 5 or something like that?
Yeah, off the bench, which was know, pretty good little game. And obviously, you expect the number 1 overall pick to have good games, and so I wouldn't say like my expectations have changed at all, but like I was slightly disappointed in how he really hadn't looked very well, and also he didn't get a starting spot in the lineup. So like I wouldn't say like I was disappointed or anything like that, but I was wanting a little bit more from Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, it was underwhelming.
Yeah, underwhelming. That's probably the best word for it.
Yeah, I
don't I know. I can't stop looking at it.
Get that off the screen. But I think I don't think any of my opinions changed at all. But in the game yesterday that the Hornets played against Oklahoma City, LaMelo Ball hit some threes that were like from the parking lot, and he hit 2 of them like in a row.
Bro,
one from like the top of the arc and one from like the wing, but it was like 3 or 4 steps back.
He was doing really that at Chino Hills, and I was like, "There's no way he's gonna try and do that like in the NBA or whenever he was playing."
But now everybody's
overseas.
doing it. So everybody has the green light to do that, especially someone who's going to get the keys
dude was
to your
shooting
franchise
beyond half court at Chino Hills, and it was like, okay, buddy.
But when he was still like 5'7" or something,
he was a freshman, just shooting beyond half court. But I like what I've seen so far from LaMelo.
Yeah.
Obviously, I haven't got to watch a whole lot of him because, I have a bunch of stuff.
The games aren't televised or anything.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I think he's been all right. But I think the only rookie, also James Wiseman has looked decent. With Golden State, and so I would say that going into the season, I thought that a lot of the rookies would be disappointing because there was no. We always heard about how average this rookie class is, and how there's no real true number 1 pick, and so I just wasn't expecting a whole lot. But I've been pleasantly surprised with how some of them have performed, and now I don't think there's a whole lot of superstar talent level players in this class like there have been in the past few classes, but I think I'm decently surprised with how well some of them have played.
Yeah, I think LaMelo Ball and James Wiseman can be all-stars. I'm not sure about Anthony Edwards yet. But I think they can be all-star players. But as for the rest of them, I think really key role players, really key starters. I think Isaac Okoro will end up being in like maybe 5 or 6 years one of the best defenders in the league, probably.
One of the best players in the league, probably Isaac Okoro.
One of the best players of all time, actually. Auburn alumni Isaac Okoro. But I think he'll be a really good on-ball defender. Patrick Williams is still kind of a question for me. He's got a nice jump shot, but that's about all I know about him. Also, the Chicago Bulls are just absolutely garbage. But other than that, Cole Anthony will be pretty good.
Yeah, I like what I've seen.
I'm hoping Emmanuel Quickly will be good too.
We got about 5 minutes left, so let's wrap it up with um, what do you guys, who do you guys think is gonna be the, like the best player out of this class, and then what's some of your guys, general statements?
I think the most entertaining player of this class will be LaMelo Ball, but the best, I'm honestly not sure. It could be LaMelo. It could be James White. It could even be Anthony Edwards.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know who I don't think there's a clear cut best just yet, but LaMelo Ball looks like he's about a hair's length ahead of everyone else.
Mhm.
I
What about
think
you, Ethan?
Wiseman will probably win Rookie of the Year. I just feel like just because like the way that he plays, like it's very, it looks good on like the box score. You know what I mean? Versus like Lamelo, like because I don't know, just because
Yeah,
the way he
sometimes LaMelo
plays,
will have 0 points to finish a game.
0 points, and then he'll have like four. I think one game he had 4 or 5 turnovers and 0 points. I think that was his first game.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel like James Wiseman. I think that just that he looks better right now, but I don't think he'll be better
Mhm.
like in the long term. But I think this year he's definitely
Yeah, I
the
think I
the
would.
better player.
I think I'm gonna agree with you. I think James Wiseman's probably gonna end up being the rookie of the year. Now, that doesn't mean Lamelo doesn't have a shot, but from what we've seen in like the 3 games that they've played or whatever, I just think James Wiseman's a better um, pick for that. And I also do think he's probably gonna end up being the best player out of this class, um, unless Lamelo or heck maybe Anthony Edwards, guys like that can become a more efficient scorers.
Right.
So yeah, I guess we can end it there.
Alrighty.
All right, thanks
Yeah, that
for.
was a good conversation about Jake Paul. Glad we talked about Jake Paul for about 20 minutes.
All right, guys. Thanks everyone. Thanks for listening, and we will be back at it next week.